What's up people, it's your boy DeepTalk and welcome to my channel DeepTalk, where we do movie reviews, reactions, trivia and give you scoops and updates about some of the upcoming and latest releases. Roll it. Today we're gonna review the movie Shot Caller, directed by Waugh, the same director who directed movies like Felon and Dwayne Johnson's starrer Snitch. Before I get into the build-up of the movie, let me give you a sneak peek into the cast. The protagonist of this movie is Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, aka Jamie Lannister. You guys better know him from the GOT series as Sir Jamie Lannister. The movie also stars two prominent characters that we have come across in our past experience in television and movie is John Bernthal, who also played a very popular character of Shane in the TV series of The Walking Dead, and then there is Evan Jones. Evan Jones is the same guy who played Shedder in the movie 8 Mile starring Eminem. But let's get into the build-up of the movie, alright? Talking about the build-up of this movie, Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, aka Jamie Lannister, was a wealthy guy in this movie who was into stockbroking or some sort of stuff like that, where he managed money. He had a beautiful family, a wife and a son. He gets into a nasty accident. In that accident, his friend dies and he was driving under influence. That means he was drinking and driving. He ends up in the jail because of that, and his friend's wife sues him and he spends 7 years in the jail. Once Nikolaj Coster-Waldau ends up in prison, there is a lot of gang violence in the prison, and for survival, people join different gangs based upon their ethnicity. If you have done your research on, if you have seen enough movies on gang violence or in prison violence, which is a specialty of the director, you must have come across the fact that based upon people's ethnicity, they join different gangs. The blacks join a different gang, the whites join a different gang, just because, you know, just to give them protection. And as the poster of the movie says, safety comes with a price. So once Nikolaj Coster-Waldau ends up in the prison, he takes the help of a white supremacist gang, you know, the Heil Hitler kind. So he takes the help of that kind of a gang to protect himself, and he starts climbing up the ladder by involving into gang related activities like drug trafficking, and also getting into gang fights where he ends up killing an inmate. That gives him extra jail time and makes him a solid member of the gang. He moves up the ladder, and after a certain period of time he is given parole. That means he is out from the jail for a particular period of time, and if he does not commit any crime during that time period, he might be given additional time outside the prison. This guy, when he gets out of the jail, he is given a project by his gang where they need to do some sort of a ammunition trafficking or gun trafficking kind of a deal with the Mexicans, and that is where the shit gets down and the shit goes bad. There are a few notable mentioned scenes in this movie that I have to bring up to you guys that you need to pay attention to while you're watching this movie in order to understand the craft of filmmaking and acting. There is one particular scene where there is a car crash and Nikolaj Coster-Waldau basically comes out of the shock to find that his friend who was sitting in the back seat is now no more. There his expression is brilliant. You must check out that scene. And then there is another scene where Nikolaj Coster-Waldau is coming out in the yard of the prison, and he is told by one of his associates that there is going to be a gang fight. He needs to swing around the ground, not to be seen by the CCTV cameras, even if he is stabbing or killing someone. But eventually he ends up doing that and he gets more prison time for that. Then there is another particular scene in the courtroom where Nikolaj Coster-Waldau's face has zero expression. That is very difficult to do, but he has maintained that beautifully. In the courtroom where he's being convicted for murdering another inmate during the gang fight inside the prison yard is so awesome. And once he has been given the additional prison time, he tells his wife that forget I exist. That scene is so amazing. His expression is, he looks so dead in the eyes, you know, that's what prison makes you. That's what, when you kill a person, like he has been convicted for a crime which is not a felony. He was drinking, he was under influence and he was driving, and there was a car accident because he jumped a signal and his friend died. But then in the next scene in the courtroom where he's being convicted for murdering another prison mate, there it is shown that prison has changed him and how dangerous he has become in order to maintain his own survival. So these are few scenes that are notable mentions that you must check out. Then there is another scene where he walks into this gang house, and then there is loud music playing in the house, and then he walks into the toilet in order to sink that all in, because he is institutionalized. He has been in a correctional center for such a long time, and it is so difficult for him to adapt to normal life because he has been in seclusion, he has been in solitary confinement for such a long time, and suddenly he gets back into the normal life with his friends and everything. That in a very small moment, Rick Roman Waugh does a brilliant job shooting that scene, and portraying that particular frustration or that particular inability to adapt to that situation is beautifully crafted by Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. John Bernthal, who plays the character of Shotgun in this movie, is once again a definite check out. When you're watching the movie, please check out the character of Shotgun. The expressions, the way he expresses himself throughout the movie is brilliant. It actually shows how a proper actor does things. It's not like any movie, people just get into a scene and try to be a gangster. They try to walk like a gangster just because they have some tattoos and they are wearing those clothes. They try to act like gangsters, but these guys look like hardcore gangbangers. Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, there is not much to say about this guy. He has proved his matter in the Game of Thrones series. There's nothing much to say about it, and he does a very good job in this movie itself. He's very intense throughout the movie, and his transition from a normal family guy to a hardcore gang-banging prison inmate is awesome. The cinematographer of this movie is Gonzales. Happens to be the cinematographer for the TV series Fargo, which is a pretty awesome TV series. You must check it out if you're into crime and thrillers. And if you're into gang violence, prison violence kind of movies, then this movie is a definite check out. There is not much emphasis on the gang or the white supremacy thing that people generally expect in these kind of movies, but there is more emphasis on a man who gets on a journey which transforms his life, makes him lose his family, but then he sticks to his principle of protection of his family and love for his family, and keeps doing whatever is required to be done in order to keep his family safe. There are a lot of scenes in this movie where you can actually understand what happens in a prison and how people survive that, and Nikolaj Coster-Waldau has brilliantly expressed each and every scene. As you all know, I always try to make my videos, my film reviews, completely spoiler free, so I'm not going to give you any more scoops into that. If you're into gang related and prison gangbang kind of movies, you should definitely check this movie out. Don't take that term gangbang literally, I mean gang related movies. Definitely check out. If you're a fan of Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, then please watch Jamie Lannister in this movie. He's freaking awesome. Talking about the ratings of this movie has 7.5 out of 10 rating on IMDb. The direction of this movie is seamless. There are flashback scenes which are there at the particular moment when it is required. So a definite check out. Please check this movie out. Grab yourself a copy. It's already out on HD and Blu-ray. And Short Collar, awesome movie. Please check this out. Alright people, if you like this video, then please comment down below, share this video, like this video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please smash the subscribe button. Thank you very much. I'll be coming up with more movie reviews. Till then, peace out.